The third module in Adult 3 is moving forward to backward and backward to forward 2-foot turns on a circle. You have to do this both clockwise and counterclockwise. Let's get started with the warm-up. You'll want to do this on a slippery surface with some fuzzy socks on, maybe your kitchen floor. Next, you want to rotate on that slippery surface and have some fun with it. The goal is to really loosen up your hips. Get your jive on. Next, raise up your arms so that they're parallel to the ground. Then turn your head and shoulders slightly before you turn your hips. This is called pre-rotation. Last, bend your knees as you're rotating. You're going to bend, rise up, and bend. It's a lot, so it's great to get this down to muscle memory before you go and try it on the ice. The next exercise uses a balance disc. I use one from ProSourceFit, and I know it's overinflated. You can order any one you want online, and we'll use this for a number of balance exercises. Step onto the balance disc carefully. Extend your hands for support, and get your bearings by slowly rotating your ankles until you get the hang of it. If you feel uncomfortable, step off at any time. When you're ready, rotate your ankles to the front and the back. Repeat this motion until it feels comfortable to you. When you're ready, rotate your ankles from one side to the other side. You can bend your knees to shift your balance. This might feel like baby steps, but before you know it, you're going to be able to get through TSA and put your shoes back on without using a bench. Here's Coach Rachel.
Hello again, adults. Next on the list is we're going to do our 2-foot turn, going forward to backward, both directions on the circle. So we can go back to, I think it was Adult 2, where we discussed just doing a 2-foot turn in place. So we're going to warm that up. I like to do it on the circle. So I have my toes facing one direction on the circle. I'm going to bend, rise up, and bend. Now I'm facing the other way. Bend, up, bend. Okay? So once you have that, where you're going all the way around, we can go into our turn moving. So I like to use our forward half swizzle pumps, what we just did in the last video. So we're going to do them like maybe 2 to 3. So I'm going to do 2, nice and slow. 1, 2. Do a 2-foot glide, bend. I'm going to do a quick turn and glide out of it. Then I'm just going to turn back forward. 1, 2, and if you need to, you can just do 1, just go a little bit slower, quick turn. Okay, and as I do this, I'm rising up to my toes. So I'm lifting up my heels just a little bit when I'm doing this, okay? So now I'm gonna go the other way, pump, pump, 2-foot glide, bend, quick turn, try to get a glide out of it. So a couple common mistakes. You're pumping along, and then you almost do like a U-turn. Do you see that? I'm moving on the ice. I do a U-turn here. That's a common mistake. So a way to avoid that is I'm going to bend. I'm going to lift up my heels. Okay, so if I don't lift up my heels here, I'm going to keep my whole blade on the ice, and the whole blade is going to turn like that, all right? So we need to lift up our heels so that way you're quickly turning in one place. Another common mistake is people will go like this, and then they'll do the turn, and their arms will go with them like that, okay? When we went back to our 2-foot turn in place, we kept our arms still on top of your line or on top of the circle. So your arms, your right arm's in front, and then it's in back. Your chest is always facing the center of the circle as you do your forward to backward 2-foot turns. A final pretty common mistake that we have is people will try to turn outside the circle. So you're pumping along, and then you're like, oh, wait, you turn that way. That's actually a different kind of turn for the future, very advanced. We're going to have our belly button to the center, turn to the center of your circle. So you don't want to turn outside the circle, turn inside the circle, lift up your heels, turn. We're going to talk about the toe picks. Sometimes our toe picks, they can get in the way, but we also use them often, all the time as figure skaters. So when you do this lift of your heel, it's going to be just ever so slight on the toe pick. You're going to hit your bottom toe picks. You're not going all the way up when you do this turn. So just your bottom toe picks. And it is a little bit scary. You're keeping your weight kind of forward, and then you're lifting up. You're going up onto those toe picks. It can be scary hitting the toe picks, but you kind of have to get used to it. It's all right. But when you do this, keep your chin up and your head up. Lift and turn. So your head is really heavy. So if you're looking down at the ice and you're going to go to your toe picks, you could fall forward, right? So you want to keep your chin and your head up, lift up and hit those toe picks. So keeping your chin up and your head up is really going to help you on really anything that involves your toe picks, because people trip on them. I trip on them. People are going to trip on them. A way to really help prevent that is keeping your chin up, bending your knees. That way your toe picks won't get in the way.
Next up is backward skating into a long 2-foot glide. Thanks for watching.